how do you price your services? So I was speaking to a lady who does accounting for construction businesses in Limpopo. If she's watching this, you're awesome. We had a good conversation because she was saying to me, Ben, I've got one retainer that's 6.5 a month and one retainer that's 8.5 a month. And one of the businesses that I'm working with is doing 5 million per month in turnover. And I want to share with you two of the biggest mistakes. So it's one big mistake that happens for accountants and service professionals. So think of consultants, accountants, lawyers, and outsourced CFOs. So the big mistake that happens during the sales process, we're going to talk about that. And then the big mistake that happens during the follow-up process, and we're going to talk about that. So during the sale, what's the issue? What's the mistake that I've seen after talking to almost 200 professionals in a one-to-one setting? So the first mistake is that they do not compare their pricing to the risk or the cost that the customer is experiencing. So for example, let's actually just stop for a second. I'm on my way to grab coffee. I've already spoken to, I think, 3 or 4 potential clients today. 2 are joining us and the other 2 need a little bit of time. But what do I mean by this? So what I mean is you need to accurately demonstrate not your pricing and not your cost, but what it's costing them not working with you. So for example, she was charging this one company that's doing 5 million per month an 8.5k retainer. In my opinion, she is undercharging her services. And the reason I'm saying that is because imagine this construction company that's doing 60 million per year. Imagine that they have a compliance issue. Imagine that they get hit with a huge VAT bill. Imagine that they want to purchase a whole lot of equipment, or they want to hire and expand their team. Maybe they want to purchase a new branch, like a new property. Now, what are some potential issues that can happen for them? So if they're a company that large, they have more risk. The bigger you are, the more risk there is, obviously. If you're Apple and you're launching a new product, it could be a multi-billion-dollar failure. Whereas if you're a small business, your failure is only going to be as big as you are. So the bigger you are, the more risk there is. Therefore, if she's reducing their risk, she needs to consider charging in relation to the risk that she is carrying for them. So that's mistake number 1, is whenever you are quoting a client a retainer service, the retainer should be in relation to the problem or the payoff. Hope this makes sense. I'm gonna grab a coffee and we're gonna speak about mistake number 2. That was freaking next level. I didn't have a coffee. I had a peanut butter, banana, oat smoothie with some whey and a shot of an espresso in it. Really, really good. And I caught up with my girlfriend. But where were we? We were busy talking about your service needs to be saving them from an upcoming risk or expense. So for example, think about insurance, right? That's what insurance does. As we walk past all these cars, that's exactly what insurance does. They say, hey, it's 800 Rand a month, 1,000 Rand a month. But if you're ever in an accident, we'll cover you for this amount. So you need to position your offer against that future risk or expense. Example, I've paid my accountants over the past 3 years probably close to 200,000 Rand. And they've saved me so much headache. They've saved me headache with payroll. They've saved me headache with VAT. They've saved me headache with compliance and with returns. And you want to be doing the same. Because ultimately, they don't care about your service. They care about what your service will do for them. And if your service is just another expense, another line item that isn't actually producing any sort of result or saving, then you're going to be the first thing that they cut off once they join you. I hope this is making sense. But now, I want to speak to you about the mistakes that are made by professionals after the sale, after the proposal. So, this is the biggest mistake. We're just walking up a big hill now. This is the mistake. So, when a lead books a call with you, they have a problem. They've booked a call with you because they have a problem, and there's a part of them that believes that you can help. There's a part of them that believes that you might have the solution to the problem that they are experiencing. So when a lead joins the call, you need to remember that you are the one who might potentially have the answer. So when you're following up and you feel rejected, you feel like, oh, they inquired, they booked a call, I sent them a proposal, I haven't heard back. I need you to think that that person has a broken foot and they're walking on that broken foot and they're looking for a doctor, but they just don't know how to ask for help. I need you to chase after that person as if their life depends on it, because maybe it does. You know, there's all these people who stay in bad situations because they don't know how to ask for help. So when you get ghosted, don't treat it like you've been rejected, like you've been put down. Treat it like they need your help, and it is your moral duty to follow up with them constantly until they give you an answer, because they might just be really bad at asking for help. So I need you to hold that in the forefront of your mind. It is your moral duty to chase after them, because if they didn't need your help, and if there wasn't a pain, they wouldn't have reached out to you in the first place. Okay? So stop this fear of rejection. This fear of rejection of I've sent them 5 emails and they still haven't responded. Well, have you messaged them on WhatsApp? Have you called them? So before you stop chasing after them, I need you to remind this. I need this to be a reminder for you, because all of the money is made in the follow-up. All of the money is made on call number 3, call number 4, call number 5. It's the same as if you were to get a kitchen renovation. They're not going to come on day 1 and take dimensions of your kitchen, check out your floor plan, check out your tiles, and be like, okay, cool, pay us right now. They're going to do multiple revisions, they're going to do multiple quotes, they're going to do multiple measurements, and only after freaking quote number 5 will they eventually close you through the follow-up. So those are the biggest 2 mistakes. Number 1 is you need to position your offer against the future cost. So if you're a lawyer and you're selling estate planning, you need to ask them about their current estate. If they have, let's say that they've got 3 million in property, and that property is going to be handed over to family as an inheritance. Now, if that property is handed over and it's not in a trust, they might get hit with some huge transfer tax, some huge tax bill that dramatically ruins them in that handover process. So if I was selling estate planning, I'd be like, hey, if you want to avoid paying all of that tax, if you want to avoid getting hit by that huge tax bill when an inheritance is passed down, what we'll do is we'll set up a trust for you. It's going to cost this amount, but it's going to prevent you from experiencing this pain. So you're always positioning your offer against a future pain or future risk, or even a future upside. Then the second thing that we spoke about was follow-up. So when someone reaches out to you for your help, for a professional service, whether it's law or accounting, they reached out for a reason. And it is your moral duty to follow up with them and support them in that process of them asking for your help and eventually getting your help. So those are the 2 learning lessons Thank you so much for joining me today for a walk. I hope you learned something freaking awesome today about how to close people over the call and how to follow up with them after the proposal. You stay blessed. If you want to book a call with us, my name's Ben. If you want to apply one-on-one, you can below this video. We help professional accountants and lawyers close more deals and book more calls with their ideal clients. But it's a beautiful day here in Cape Town, and I'm really grateful you could join me. Bye-bye.